Hey everybody, welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to have you all here. Glad to be here. It's now becoming, it is always my first happy day of the week. The second happy day now is Monday when we do midday market. And then on Wednesday when we do market two. Which one am I pushing? Okay, and Joey's got my new screen. Where's my mouse? Sorry. There we go. There we go. Joey's got my new screen, and we did change the background so it's not moving. For those of you who did not really like that, it's not moving, but it still gives me a feel like I'm in a studio and we got the stuff that we're concentrating on the most as well. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear and where you're tuning in from. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel, help the channel to grow. And don't also forget to hit the bell icon so that when new stuff like this comes out, new live streams, new videos come out, you will be alerted just like you just were right now. For those of you, hit the bell icon. And lastly, if you like the content that we put out today, don't forget to hit the like button. That brings up the chatter. I love to conversate with you guys. Now, I will say this, I like to keep the politics out of the forum here. It's all about stocks. So just keep that in mind. I want you all to keep that in mind. Please do. There's a time and a place for everything. This is all about stocks, what's moving, where to put your money, where to keep your money out of, and why the market is doing what it's doing. That's what Trending Thursday is about. So we're looking at, some of the hottest sectors that are running at any given time. And we're going to look at stocks in those sectors. We're going to look at news in those sectors, in those stocks, to see if it's worth it to be in these stocks or not, where to best put your money. And definitely when the market's going haywire into the downside, you know me, I'm always going to have you thinking about contra ETFs. But I am also letting you know that the market was at a level where it was starting to look for a bottom. If you are a subscriber to the VectorVest software, you have the indicators at your disposal to be able to know when the market is looking for a bottom. We have a couple of indicators to help you with that. And if you're not a subscriber to this VectorVest system, where's that? Did we take that away, Joey? No, we didn't. Here we go. You can always join us. Take a subscription to the software. How about 99 cents for 30 days? 99 cents for 30 days for the software. After that, as I mentioned, on the mobile app, we have subscriptions as low as $5. As low as $5. It's a very basic subscription. But if you like what you see after the 99-cent trial, you can do $5 a month, all the way up to our real-time subscription, which is a little bit more than that as well. So I want to put all of that out there for you. We are not sponsored by anybody, but the least I can do is help you out by, pushing you towards the 99-cent trial. Folks, that's not a lot to take advantage of 30 days worth of analysis that I talk about all the time here on Trending Thursday. So I can see that people are chiming in. John says, Glenn and Cafe Bustelo. Here's my Cafe Bustelo. It's in my to-go cup today. It doesn't spill. That would have been funny if it would have opened up and my coffee would have spilled all over the place. That would have been bad. You said 2024. Oh, heck no. I am so not running. I got too much stuff in my closet. I got too many skeletons in my closet to run. That's so not happening. So I know, Cash, I'm going to talk about Amazon 20-for-1 split and buyback. So I got a lot of stocks to talk about today. And actually, that Amazon is on one of my stocks of interest. You know me, I always going to give you some stocks to look at to keep your eyes on going forward. So I do that every week. 400 likes and Joey will hide Glenn's car keys. No, he won't. He better not. No, you ain't. No, listen, that's what I got to say about it. You can't even hear that, can you, Joey? It was the boo. I put the boo up there. I put the bull, and yeah, see, that's not, yeah. All right, so Eton, it's here from Israel. You know, I got people from all over the world. I love that we have that kind of reach with this platform, with Trending Thursday, to reach people all over the world. And you guys come across here, spend some time with me every week, and I love that. All these companies with big stock splits has to be a sign of a market top. Well, no, I think we're far from a market top, number one. Number two, I think that what's going on with inflation and the oncoming interest rates hikes, I think that we've got a lot more downside to go. I've seen stories that say that right now the NASDAQ is in correction territory, and we'll talk a lot about that as well. So I think that we've still got some downside. That's my own personal opinion. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a stock market wizard. I am not an economist. A lot of the information that I give you is by way of the analysis in the VectorVest software. A lot of it is 18 years worth of experience, working with VectorVest to give you some of my insight. So don't take anything that I say as gospel. It is designed to help you think about different things in a different way. If nothing else, nothing more than that. Tell us about Amazon. Is it a good time to buy? We'll take a look at it. We're going to take a look at that stock today. Badger says, hello, Joey. Hello, Jay. All is well on the farm. Gertie loves Glenn's advice, mainly in his informative voice. Milk production will be up this afternoon. As you know, if you don't know, Badger lives in the sticks somewhere, way in the middle of nowhere. And that's what he does. But he's always here. We close on a full tank of gas today. Listen, I hear you, Roy. I just went, like I told you, I filled up 14 and a half gallons of super unleaded, $71. Glenn, how much downside? 10, 15 down or more? I don't know. I think that we do have downside. I'm not going to speculate on how much. And the reason why I say we do still have downside is because of what's going on, the conditions in the market. And we're still looking at oil rising. That was one of the biggest things in regards to what we're going to talk about today. Oil is still on the rise. Is it topped out? Is it overbought? We're going to talk a lot about that in the coming stories for today in regards to oil. So I will never speculate and give you percentages or prices or anything. That's not what I do. But based upon the field, based upon what's going on, based upon the background, however you want to look at it, I still think that we've got some downside left in the market. Before I had Trending Thursday and I got lost, now I have VectorVest as my favorite page and problem solved to find Trending Thursday. There you go. So now, Lou, you don't have a problem with that anymore? There you go, Joey. There you go. Joey was confused. Joey was like, how are people still having a hard time finding Trending Thursday? So, oh, my Kelly Blue Book joke. My Kelly Blue Book joke says, you know, I went on Kelly Blue Book to check the value of my car, and it asked me, is the tank full or empty? Boom. There you go. So that's the going thing right now is with oil. So as I look at what's going on, I like the way Joey has this set up right now on the beginning, sort of like sitting in a newsroom. But the most important things that we've got to concentrate here on Trending Thursday is what you see right here to the right over. How do I do that? Right over there. You know, where, you know, the guidance that the VectorVest software gives, again, for the 99 cents, you get this guidance every day. Here's our color guard, which looks at the traffic light into the market. Here's the indices and what they're doing right now. And from there, where's money going today? We're looking at the top sectors. So I think that all of this is pertinent. So as we look at this homepage, what's going on today? A lot of red in our traffic light for the market. The primary wave is still down. The confirmed call is still down. Our levels where the market was looking for a bottom, looks like we might have bounced a little, but I still think the market has some downside. We're looking at what all the indices are doing. The Dow is down right now over 200 points. The NASDAQ is down over 1%. That's the biggest mover today to the downside is the tech stocks or the NASDAQ down over 1%, and all of our other major indices are down as well. So now, where is money going? All right. And from this homepage, you're able to see that as well. Money is still going into petroleum, going into steel, going into mining. And guess what, folks? These are the sectors that are moving. These are the sectors that are on my news story today. Now, Joey just put a thing up. What did you put up? Joey just put up a poll. I can't read it. Oh, do you like our new screen setup? Everybody needs to vote. I need everybody to vote. Do you like our new screen setup? I think Joey every so often comes up with great ideas. Most of the times he doesn't come up with great ideas. And Joey told me a joke. I'm going to smile for you real quick. See? Joey says, do teeth get COVID? I was like, well, why? He says, because it looks like your teeth are social distancing. That's what I got to say about that. That's what I got to say about that. Well, why? That's the joke you told me. Yeah, he said that. He told me that. I don't never say anything bad about you, Joey, ever. But Joey said that about my teeth. And thankfully, nobody in the room is laughing because, Joey, that was a mean joke. I'm looking at the chat. Nope. Nobody's laughing. No, Nick. No laughing from Nick. No laughing from Nick. All right. So, Ron says he liked the original background. Again, at the top, Ron, I want you to vote. We want to get a feel because Joey's messing around with a lot of different things to get a better feel of what we can do to make this a lot more presentable for you. I love the layout. Glenn, it works for you and Michael Strahan. That's true. Michael Strahan, man, I got a gap, but Michael's is huge. Woo-wee. All right. Kosh says, yes, it was mean, but I'm laughing a little bit. It's a little bit. Don't be laughing a lot. All right. So you want to see the Midas touch stocks? Then Jim, you have that. You notice that I don't give everything on the homepage here, and that's by design. Not everybody here on YouTube is a subscriber to the software, and I got to leave a little bit for them to be able to say, I'm going to take the jump for 99 cents to get that kind of information. So, Jim, nope, I don't give everything out there for everybody, but I will put the most pertinent stuff out there for you as well. All right. Bought diesel, filled up my RV, 75 gallons, $400. Good. Googly muggly. Whoa. Again, my excursions only got 40 gallons. I'm not spending $400. That's a lot of money. What about a video on Contra ETF? Most of the time I trade Contra ETF, I lost money. Kobe, I've done in the past, when the time is right, I've done videos on Contra ETFs. I've showed you how to find them on the YouTube, on our YouTube channel, how to find them and all that. I don't know. When it's time for that, I will do another one. How about that, Kobe? When it's time, I will do another one. All right, so with this, if you like the screen, Glenn, all good for me. There you go, Ninja. I like that. How much after that subscription? So Hitchem, I mentioned that we have subscriptions on the mobile app. We've got subscriptions on the phone for as low as about $5 a month. And then we have desktop subscriptions for end of day, for intraday, for real time as well. Okay, I've done a lot of talking. This is what the market looks like today. Let's get into our news story and let's talk about what's making the market look the way it is. Let's go here. So now, some background behind what's going on in the news. Wall Street slumps as spiraling inflation cements rate hike bets. We all know that interest rates are going to rise, number one. Number two, the news today of inflation wasn't new news. We knew that it was going to happen. All right, we knew that inflation was rampant and out of hand, but it hit the headline stories today, and everybody's going, oh my God, we already knew that. This wasn't new news, all right? But on the news with the CPI report that came out today, it affected the market adversely. I don't know why it was any different from the day before or the day before that, all right? So I'm just putting that out there. Next one, Moscow retaliates against Western sanctions with export bans. Why is that important? Because we're already having supply issues as it is now. So there's more than just oil that Russia exports. They export commodities like wheat and other things like like that. There's a lot of things that as a global economy, we all move around amongst ourselves, all right, from one country to another country. And when we put sanctions on Russia and everybody else puts sanctions on Russia, it sort of is designed to isolate them from the world. Well, guess what? Their biggest supporter right now is going to be China, right? China's going to have the wherewithal to pick up on some of that extra oil or pick up on some of that oil that they're not exporting. And then what does that do for China? China says, well, I got this oil now and I got it cheaper because Putin's going to have to sell it cheaper. I got this oil. Hey, who wants some? And then people may have to go to China to buy their oil as well. So they retaliate with sanctions with export bans, and that's going to be huge. There's the inflation report. Inflation rose almost 8% in February. That's a big jump as food and energy costs push prices to highest in more than 40 years. That's a lot. Now, for everybody who thinks that it was the war that made oil go higher, let me back you up a little bit. All right, without being political, we had the plans in place to extend the what's the name of the pipeline? Gosh darn it. What's the pipeline, Joey? Oh, yeah. Joey, how do you not know this, Joey? What's the pipeline that's going from Canada to Texas? Anybody? I can't believe I don't remember it. Well, anyway, everybody thinks that the pipeline is shut down. The Keystone, there it is. Nobody put it in the room. You guys are slow today. The Keystone Pipeline. But the XL version, the addition, which would have given us, huh? Oh, thank you, Joey. Now you tell me Keystone Pipeline, whatever. And no, you wasn't muted. You wasn't muted. You didn't know. So anyway, the XL version was in an addition to pump out more oil. And the idea was it would help us to be energy independent or oil independent. And the new administration came in and said, no, we're not going to do that. But everybody, I keep hearing from everybody, so the Keystone Pipeline is shut down. It ain't shut down. It is still operating, still bringing oil from Canada to Texas. It's still there. But the XL version, the addition to it, would have given us more output of oil. That was shut down. So without having that and pushing out more oil, we become a little bit more dependent on other countries to supply us our oil. And from what I understand, Canada gives us a lot of it. 50 or 60% of our oil comes from Canada. And when we shut down Russia, we were getting less than 10% of our oil from Russia. But the EU, the European countries, is a different story. All right, so they are where the oil makeup is going to have to come from, because if Russia's saying, all right, screw you, we're not going to send you our oil or our gas, they're going to be in hot poo-poo. All right, so I don't want that to happen. All right, nobody really wants that to happen. All right, but this wasn't new. We all knew that it was coming. We all knew that the oil was rising prior to the war as well. Retailers, this is important because on Midday Market, I've been showing you growing watch lists of companies who are pulling out of Russia. Retailers start to warn of business impact from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And so I always try to make sure that it's not political, but it is all economical. All of this that's going on with the war over in Russia or Russia going into Ukraine is all economical. All those union iron workers and pipe fitters and so many other union workers lost their jobs thanks to XL shutdown. I don't disagree with you, and you're right. Anytime you shut down a project as big as that, it's going to affect people adversely. But there's another side of it. All right, the other side of it, and I'm not pulling on either side. I think that you're right. What you just said, John, is absolutely right. But why did they not do it? Because of the conservationist people in the lands that the oil was going to be going through. There was a lot of people who fought it. So there's both sides of the story. Where you sit on the fence is up to you. My job is I'm just going to give you the information, and I'm not pulling for either side. That's not my deal. Somebody already called me a liberal anyway, so that's not my deal. I'm not a liberal. But what I am is I'm a human being that's got some moral standings, and I stand on those morals, and I look at both sides of the story. I cannot take either side, especially because I have a platform here on YouTube. I'm not going to pull for either anybody. Double the output to the USA. Why is it better to buy from Canada, and why is it better to buy from Canada than Russia? Y'all, hey, if y'all start pulling this down to a situation where I don't need this to be, I'm gonna stop some of this concept, some of this conversation. I want this to concentrate on what's going on. Oil is still a mover, all right? Because there's a shortage, or it could look like there's definitely a shortage because we don't have the excess that we had before. It's going to cause us to go to countries like Venezuela and things like the Middle East and all that kind of stuff to pull more oil. That's what I want to get across. U.S. crude oil imports from Canada accounted for 56% of all crude oil imports in the United States. In 2019, averaged 3.8 million barrels a day. All right, so I was right on point with that. All right, there it is. KXL had a lot of lawsuits. Nebraska landholders fought it all the way. So there's a lot of stuff that went on both sides. So we're gonna keep that. All right. With that, so these are the things that are affecting the market adversely. Let's get back into the software. All right, and let's go to here. There we go. The VectorVest program. Let's go find my watch list for today. Watch list, trending Thursday, 310. I got a lot of stocks to talk about today. You know me, I always like to bring to the forefront stocks to look at. So the two stocks that I look at for the purposes of tracking the market are the VVC and the S&P 5, the SPY. Here's the SPY for those people who are not subscribers to the VectorVest system. And then we have the VVC. Let's go take a look at the both of them. Put them on a 3-month graph. And this is what we got going on. There's the market. There's the market, folks. Why does that look like that, Joey? There we go. Here's the market, folks. That's the S&P 500. What's it doing? Moving down, straight up. There's a trend line right there. I'm going to make that a little darker for you. There's a trend line. And the trend line is just showing that the market is just going down and down and down. All right. And until you said, are we getting to a toppy market? No, I don't think that. Are we getting into a bottoming market? No. I think that the market still has some downside. I've got a 5-year level. Hold on. 5-year level on the S&P. This is on the S&P. Let's take off this line. Let's keep that line on. So I've got a solid level of support sitting at about 410.58. All right. That's where we're in 410.58. We're trading at 424. If we break down below that, do we still have downside? We sure do, to the level of about 322.60. That's a big drop off. So when you ask me, how far of a drop do we have? Let me take this one off, because we are still sitting at a level, and this is on a 5-year graph. We're sitting at a solid level of support at 423.56. You see that? And look at where the body of the candle is. We're sitting at a solid level of 423.60. How long is this? This is about a 5-6 month graph. Let's go put this on the 6-month graph. There's that level. There's that level, and we're just chilling right at that level. If the market, cannot continue to digest the oil news, the inflation news, does the market still have downside? And the answer to your question is yes, it does. All right. We have a higher low in the spiders. We do. But we still have continuing lower highs in the spiders as well. So I could look at this as in another way. Could this be some sort of a wedge? Could this be some sort of a wedge, which is a consolidation pattern? Possibly. All right, let me extend this one out. Is this some sort of a wedge? Could be. And then, so now you want to ask if there's more downside. Well, let's go see if it breaks to the downside of the wedge. Look at the 3 and the 8 on the S&P 500. Still bearish right now. Still bearish right now. All right, Bruce Springs says, I'm going down, I'm going down. Sing it, Glenn. Nope, I'm not singing it. I'm not singing it. And volume is heavy red. That means there's a lot of conviction behind the pull down in the market right now. Apple goes, so does the market. ThinkPod, I still own Apple and I'm holding it. I am hedging my Apple bet. I'm hedging my Apple bet. All right, and then let's go look at the VectorVest composite. Same kind of scenario. I still got the same kind of scenario. Let's go draw an extended line. All right, let me move this. I can move this. And then let me move this. I can move this. Same thing. I'm trending lower. Let's go make it darker. I'm still trending lower. Look at that. Do I have that same sense of a wedge? Not really. I'd have to redraw my upper trend line. I would have to redraw my upper trend line to connect these highs. In actuality, I would have to actually get a real full wedge. But let's go see, no matter what, whether it's the VectorVest composite or the S&P, if these are wedges, which direction they will break. All right, which direction they will break. And you're right, we do have higher lows, but I've definitely got lower highs over the last 6 months. All right, use the R. I'm not going to use RSI. I'm just putting on just simple stuff on here. The Fed is ending QE. The Fed is already ended QE. They already ended QE. Just putting that out there. I bet if Russia-Ukraine war ends, we should go up a bit, but everything will recycle around inflation and the end of COVID. That's probably true, Energy. That's probably true. All right, what does hedging Apple mean, Charles? I'm either going to buy, put, sell calls, or some semblance of a country ETF. And right now, I'm selling calls. All right, that's what I mean by hedging. I'm holding on to Apple. I'm not getting rid of Apple. So I'm hedging it so that I don't have to take the full brunt of the downside of capital depreciation. I'm still going to take in some income by selling the call. All right, so it's just you, Tater. All right, because you went derogatory, bro. With your comment, you went derogatory. So it's just you. All right, so that's what's going on with the market in regards to the spiders and the VVC. Let's go to my next story. So that's everything that's dealing with just the market in general. Let's go take a look at my next story. Let's go take a look at my next story. Pip, pip, chitty out and all that. So, hello, Gamna. Hello. And if I put out there, Tater, what you called me, then everybody would understand why I'm saying it's just you. All right, let's go to the next stock. My next sector is the mining. Oh, no. Joey, you didn't remind me. Before I get into the next sector, which is mining, remember I told you that what we do here on the Trending Thursday, on everything that we do here on YouTube for the VectorVest software is just the tip of the iceberg. For those subscribers who are subscribers to the software and you're ready to take your investing to the next level, all right, how about this? We've got a course called the Successful Investor Course, how to buy and sell stocks to consistently make, see that number? 15% a year. 15% a year. All right, it's a real course. And next week, we've got a couple of days where you can go to a free webcast to learn more about it, number one. Number two, one of the instructors, Todd Schaefer, will be on Midday Market on Monday to give you a sneak peek into these webcasts. All right, so I'm putting that out there just to let you know. It is a course and it's a free webcast. That's what these are. These are free. I'm not trying to tell you to sell. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Free webcasts for you to take advantage of. But Todd Schaefer will be here on Midday Market to tell you a little bit more about it and why you need to consider doing it. All right. Don't forget, Midday Market at 12 p.m. on Monday. My good friend Todd Schaefer will be here. All right. Your chart of the VVC. Hold on. Let me get to my next story. Your chart of the VVC has RT under 1 for a long time. Wow. So, again, that's another reason why I made the mention of that the market still does have some downside. All right. The market still does have some downside. because of the atmosphere of the market, and the analysis shows me that. The analysis shows me that as well. So, and the question came up is how much downside? I really don't know, but all I can say is hold on, folks. Just hold on. 200 likes and Glenn will play Uncle Luke at his next wedding gig. Wow. Woo! Ooh-wee. I will play next. You know something? Some people do like me to play Uncle Luke, so that's pretty interesting. I have played it at a wedding, especially towards the end when everybody was drinking. Oh man, you put on some Uncle Luke and people would start losing their minds. They start losing their minds. All right. Marie says, how can I follow this course from my mobile phone? I don't have a computer open on the VectorVest. So in that link that I set up for you, in that link, Joey, did you put that link in the chat? Or can I put it in the chat? I'm going to put it in the chat, I think. I'm putting there. All right. Paste. Where's the paste? How come I don't have paste, Joey? Sigh. There it is, paste. All right. See if that works. I don't know if that works. We'll see. All right, there's a link. So, Marie, you can click on that link and you can register for any one of those webcasts, and it is a webcast, so you can still say it on the phone. All right? You can still play it on the phone. Yeah, Glenn, I've owned VALE for a while. I see it's a good stock. They've even reorganized recently. So, let's talk about that. So, in this space, let's go back to VALE. In this space, VALE is poised to benefit as nickel prices surge. Did you see where nickel went up like 200%? A whole bunch of people shorted it. I didn't get the full story. I should have gotten that for this story, but I didn't. As the Russia-Ukraine crisis heats up, commodities have come to the forefront of the investors' minds. Russia is a major exporter of oil, nickel, and wheat. These commodities have all seen major price surges, with oil surpassing $120 and nickel skyrocketing past $100,000 per ton for a brief period in what analysis called the metal short squeeze. All right, so this could help. All of this could help in regards to what VALE does in this space. All right, so that's the story. The story is on VALE, but as I get back into the software, dang it. As I get back into the software, I got a few stocks in the space I want to look at. VALE is one of them. Now, as I look at these stocks, for those of you who are new to what we do here in the VectorVest software, every time I have a list of stocks, I'm looking at 27 stocks today. Every time I have a list of stocks, they're sorted by our master indicator VST, where the stocks that have the best combination of relative value, relative safety, and relative timing migrate to the top of the list. All right, hold on, Sandy. I'm not ready to get there yet. Sigh, hold on. Because I got to go take a look at my account to get you that information. You guys, in regards to the calls on my Apple trade, how about this? I'll tell you on Monday. I got a lot of stocks to get through here, Sandy. All right. So from the perspective of stocks that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing, they're automatically at the top of the list, sorted all the way down to the bottom. Now, with that, what stocks am I looking at? I'm looking at VALE. All right. I'm looking at AMR, Alpha Metallurgical. Now, when I talk about mining stocks, a lot of people always think it's all about gold and silver stocks. That's not always the case. Remember, we were looking at VALE. We were looking at the nickel factor in regards to VALE, right? So putting those two together, it's not just gold and silver. What else do I have? MAG silver. Now I do have a silver stock in here, which is MAG. Where is it? Where is MAG? How come I can't see? There it is. MAG Silver Corp. I've got Cleveland Cliff in here, and then I also have Rio Tinto. Where's that at? So you notice that these stocks in a sector that's up over 23% over the last 2 weeks, a lot of these stocks are more towards the top of the list. And that makes sense, right? That makes sense. So AMR, Cleveland Cliffs, MAG Silver. I do have a precious metal stock in here, VALE and Rio Tinto. Let's go take a look at these stocks now that they've all been highlighted. Let's take a look at these stocks, put them on a 3-month graph. What do we got? Wow, VALE still looks good. Now, VALE was rocking and rolling for a minute, bounced off a level of support sitting at 1635, still bouncing up. Big down day a couple of days ago and a gap down with indecision. Even with two of those big down days, the 3 and the 8 end of day was still in play, saying that it's still okay. Did you take a hit? Absolutely. But the 3 and the 8 end of day, I am looking at end of day graph, says that it's still okay. Nice little rebound today. Beautiful open candle, no wick at the top. Volume has been pretty decent. Stock is still in an uptrend right now. So that news with the nickel and how that could affect VALE is one thing. As I look at the stocks graph, unless the 3 and the 8 went and closed down, the 3 closed below the 8 end of day, I'm still in the stock. I am definitely still in the stock. Great point, Glenn. John says, it's not just gold and silver. Each of these metals are taking their turn, moving up. Regal Gold has done well. Aztec. I have been long GDX calls since the fall. Jim Penna is a big fan. He used GDX in the hot stock panel most recently as one of his stock picks. All right, what else is in here? Let's go see. Wow, Alpha. Woo, good, googly muggly. Let me see that one. Look at that. That is a beautiful looking equity curve. How many of you are trading the stock? And then this is mining other. This is not just gold or silver. That, folks, and I've done this as part of Trending Thursday a time or two before. All right, be careful on VALE. They announce earnings today or tomorrow, I think. Let me go back to VALE real quick. Relative safety is at 0.82. It's got good upside potential. Ninja, and you're right, depends on what's going on with it now. Positive earnings, and they are growing their earnings at a clip of 26% a year. I think it's safe. All right, here we go. I think it's safe to say that they should meet or exceed earnings. Relative safety does tell me that there's an aggressive factor to it. Relative safety does show me that there is a aggressive factor to it, so we'll keep our eyes on that. But AMR looks good. Upside potential is there. Relative safety is still below the value of 1, but you can't fight the tape. Look at that. Look at that. Holy smokes. That is a nice looking graph. What else is in this space? Mag Silver. Now, a good friend of mine here, Jim Penna, is really bullish on gold. I don't know if I'm strongly bullish on gold, but it is moving. It is moving. It is moving. Mag Silver Corp is on the rise, even on a little bit of a pullback here, if you want to call it that. The 3 and the 8 are solid. Volume is pretty okay. RT is still above 1. Stocks got positive earnings. They grow their earnings at a clip of 42% a year. Gotta love that. What else? Cleveland Cliff, a little bit more volatile in its move, in its pullbacks, but nonetheless still rising. Here's the pullback. The 3 and the 8 stayed positive over the end of day time frame. Nice open candle today. I would like to see more volume with a big open candle like this. John says, if you're buying GDX call, when it runs up, sell calls against your long calls, way out of the money for extra income. What are you making? Is that like a concern? That is a synthetic long? No, if you bought the calls and you sold the calls against the calls you bought, I don't know what trade that is. That's an interesting trade. That's not a trade. That's just collecting income again. That's an interesting trade. I go fishing in the worst industry, RT rankings for stocks, and I buy them and sell puts under the price, or just buy puts and let the stocks get put to me. You want to make sure, John, if you're going to buy stocks that get put to you, that, you know, even if they are in the worst industries, you want to make sure that they are stocks that you want to hold. Or else you're going to get rid of them. You just sell R, you get the stock, it gets put to you, and you just sell a call against it right off the bat. Could do that too. All right. Rio Tinto, on the other hand, not looking nearly as well as the other stocks in the space, pulling back. I did like it prior to the most recently over the last 3 days. It did look good. Little bit of a hanging man formation right there, possible reversal, which came to fruition. All right, the 3 is definitely below the 8, but I do have a level of support on Rio sitting at $70.55. Not only is it going down, the volume there shows me that there's conviction behind the downward move. All right, so those are my stocks in the mining sector, which again is up over 23% over the last 2 weeks. Big call options bought at the $6 stock strike for HMY. April calls. Is that not Harmony Gold? HMY? All right, it's a poor man's covered call. Is that what that's called? All right, so you buy the call and then you sell a call against the call that you bought. So it's like a covered call without actually owning the stock. All right, and you're just doing it all by options. That makes sense because you already got the call, you bought the call, and then you sold the poor man's covered call without actually owning the stock. All right, I like that. How come I never heard about that? Joey, how come you never talked to me about a poor man's covered call? Oh, you didn't tell me about Jack. You didn't tell me about Jack. All right, let's get to my next story. Joey's sitting there like, yeah, I told you about that last week. No, you didn't. All right, let me go put this back where it needs to go. Let's get to my next story. Now, my next story is on pollution control stocks. Interesting that pollution control stocks make it to my list. Why? Well, because we're becoming a lot more environmental and all of this and da-da-da. So as we look at this, I'm watching the rise on this sector. Now, keep in mind, Trending Thursday is all about what's trending. This sector, the pollution control sector, is up over 20% in the last 2 weeks. Well, so that caught my attention. Here's a stock in that space. Hudson Technologies report record fourth quarter and year-end 2021 results. So what does that tell me? That's telling me that these companies are making money. Well, at least this company in the space is making money, and it could be showing that as the industry or the sector is rising, that other stocks in the sector are rising as well. So that was the story, is on Hudson Technology. Let's go into the program. Let's go see what other stocks I have in that space. So let's go find Hudson. Look at that in my list of 27 stocks in the top 5 or 6 or so. My next one was Waste Management. Everybody knows about Waste Management, right? FTEK, another company in that space. Where's it at? Ooh, it's further down the list, okay? And then Wcn, which is Waste Connection. So as I look at this space, which is up over 20% in the last 2 weeks, only Hudson seems to be a leader in the space. All right, let's go take a look at their stocks. Let's go take a look at their graphs. And let's go to a 3-month graph. Wow, Hudson. So earnings, they blew it out the box with earnings. But prior to that, it was just a little bit of, hey, oh, yeah. So, and then all of a sudden, bam, it did the Batman thing, just like we did on the Jockey Club this morning. It went bam, wham, biff, slam, and that's what happened. Big update today, a little bit of a pullback as far as a big wick at the top of the candle. Yesterday's candle was a lot more clear, less wick at the top, and a lot more volume than today. And if I go put earnings on, it was an earnings play. So if this could be a leader in the sector, let's go see what the other ones are. Waste Management. Now, this is a very well-known company in this space, and a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of resurgence right now. Now, what does pollution control have to do with anything that's going on in the market? And the answer to that is, I haven't the slightest idea. I just know that the stocks in the space are moving. Now, I see the pullback. See the 3-8 cross here? Nicely went up, found a level of resistance sitting at 158.03, pulled back. Look at these 2 days of pullback. The 3 and the 8 held. Again, I love the 3 and 8 exponential moving averages on an end-of-day graph to keep me from sweating, from keeping me from worrying. And look at that rebound. You didn't get out. You're still sitting in it. Today got a little bit of rebound. I like that. RT went below 1 and now back above 1. Stocks got good RV, got good upside potential, should outperform a AAA corporate bond by about 12% over the next 1 to 3 years. Positive earnings. They do grow their earnings at a clip of 16% a year. Next one. Now, F10, Fuel Tech NV, pollution control equipment. All right. Nice little upward trend coming from this low here, moving higher, a little bit trying to get above this level of resistance of $1.37. This is a lower dollar stock in the space. And look at this. It broke above, found another level of resistance at 155. Big pullback yesterday. Even on the pullback, the 3 and the 8 still looks solid. Today's activity, open candle, but still coming across that level of resistance of 137. I think the stock's got good upside. Let's see. RV. Ooh, no, maybe not. So this is a little bit more of a speculative stock in this space because RV and RS both are below the value of one. What's helping it though? RT tells me the stock's in an uptrend. Earnings, negative earnings by 2 cents. Earnings growth, negative earnings growth. Now, Hudson looks more and more like a leader in this space than this stock does, but you're thinking that if Hudson can help to pull the space higher and the sector is moving, that stocks like FTEK should start to move as well. I'd like to see it first take out this level of resistance at 137. This is on a 3-month graph. It does have upside to that $1.55. RT is above 1, so the stock is in an uptrend once again. The next stock, last stock, Wcn Waste Connection. Again, look at a couple of these stocks pull back to 3 1/8 held on an end-of-day basis, and look at that, still moving higher. Pollution control is in keeping with the administrative's green agenda. Is that what it is, James? All right, and I'll put that up there so everybody can see that. Pollution control is in. So when I sat back and said, I have no idea, I guess that opens up for me what the idea is, why this is on the move. 20% over the last couple of weeks is a big move. That's why we're talking about it. All right, so those are my pollution control stocks, and you can see where they vary in the list. Hudson seems to be a leader in this space where the other ones are further down the list. Green agenda, how, wow, what a minute, oh gosh. All right, again, we're not going down this path. All right, let's get to my next story. Next one, steel. Steel stocks are still moving. There ain't no ifs. Steel stocks are still moving. And steel, this is an opinion piece. Steel prices set for upturn on war-led supply crunch. All right, this was done yesterday. About 8/11, and it was a good little story. The steel industry has hit a speed bump after 2021, and it talks a lot about how the steel sector and the steel stocks look like they might be having a good 2022. The price decline has accelerated since the beginning of 2022. Nevertheless, steel prices are likely to have bottomed out and look to set a reverse the downtrend spiral as the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict has hit the global supply chain. So this is, again, an opinion piece in that steel prices should be on the rise. I don't think I put out a specific stock in this one. Let's go look at some of the stocks that I have in this space, though. All right. Oh, look at that. So the steel. Now, this sector is up 14% over the last 2 weeks. But look to see what the number one stock is, Nucor. Steve Chappell likes this stock. He's talked about it on the most recent hot stock panel as well. Nucor today is up 2.48%. What else is in this space? STLD. Oh, look at these steel stocks. Now, again, this sector is only up 14% over the last couple of weeks, but look at where the stocks sit towards the top of the list. What else is in here? TMST, look at that, and TX. So, for the most part, my steel stocks look really good in the standing of my watch list. Now, let's go view the stock graphs to see what they look like. Put them on a 3-month graph. Nucor, you can't fight that. Now, it did pull back for 2 solid days. The 3 did go below the 8, and today, the 3 now has gone back above the 8. RT has remained above 1 this whole time. You can either get in on an intraday move today, or I'd wait to see if it can take out the 3-month high, okay? That's on Nucor. STLD, it pulled back as well, but look, the 3 and the 8 held on that, bouncing off a level of support sitting at 68.68. I'd like to see volume get back to above average volume. Earnings is positive. They do grow their earnings. Man, these steel companies are doing good as far as earnings and earnings growth. A couple of wicks on these candles, though. A little bit of selling pressure going on today. Let's go to the next one. TMST. Pulled back for 3 days. 3-day pullback. The 3 and the 8 held strong, and look at that nice little rebound. 3 and the 8 does a good job. Once the stock's price does, the 3 goes below the 8, that's probably a really good opportunity for you to think about getting out of the stock. Steel Dynamics is a great company also. I totally agree with that. Why didn't I buy X? How does this say? Why didn't I buy X? It was $6 and looking like they were going out of business. Listen, you can't Ain't no what I woulda, coulda, shoulda. Listen, this is why we look at these stocks and look at opportunities to get in or get out of some of these stocks. All right, but TMST looks good. TX not as good. It's trending down, definitely trending down, but the 3 and the 8 on an end of day basis is about to break above, and the stock is breaking through a level currently of resistance at 39.73. RT is still below 1. The volume is not there, but that makes sense as the stock is in a channel. All right, so they're definitely better stocks. I like the new core, the Steel Dynamics, the TMSK. The TX, by the way, I'd wait a little bit more before I jump on board with this. Cleveland is more than an iron pellet miner. It commands 75% of the flat rolled steel for the automotive industry. I didn't know that, Bob, and thank you for that. I didn't know that as well. Holy smokes. So Cleveland is a company to keep your eyes on. Well, it made my stories today, right? All right, last but not least, my last big story is on energy stocks. So let's get into my stories once again. All right, in energy, what's up with energy? Energy firms pay record prices to buy own shares as oil booms. You're going to see this over and over with a lot of oil companies. They've made a lot of money and they're doing a lot of buybacks. They're doing a lot of buybacks. So this is not the first story you're going to see about this. This was done today. My next story right here, energy stocks moving Tuesday, which was a couple of days ago. I was keeping my eye on this stock, ENSV, 9, ICD, HUSA, INDO, stocks that we've seen making money in the market. So let's go take a look at what stocks I have for that space. But you're going to see that as an ongoing story that these companies are making a lot of money. Why? Because oil is running. So oil is running. Oil companies are going to make money. They're going to have an excess of money, and they're going to start buying back stocks. Again, think about it. Let's go. Adam said, hold on. Let's go to John. Glenn says, with all the commodity stocks leading and steel leading, this seems like we are moving into a market top prior to a recession. Just my opinion. We'll see. We'll see. And again, I know that I am not an economist or anything. All I can do is tell you what I know. All right, Adam says, again, think about it. Gold, steel, and energy stocks haven't done anything for 15 years. Giddy up. So, in my opinion, where's your money best spent right now? I think it's definitely spent well in oil stocks. Keep your eyes on gold stocks, steel stocks. Keep your eyes on those as well. These could be the places where you need to have your money. Oil is a big story, still is a big story. Let's take a look at some of my oil stocks. Occidental Petroleum, number 2 in my list as well. Halliburton, HUSA, that's a stock that's been making some noise lately. Houston Energy, and INDO is another stock that's been making noise lately from a trade perspective. But look at where it sits in my list. It sits further down my list. Indonesia Energy. This stock is day after day, double-digit gains to the upside. So let's go take a look at my stocks that I've got. Occidental Petroleum, everybody knows about Occidental Petroleum. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. Look at that move. Oil stocks, just about every oil stock you can look at exhibits the same kind of graph. All right, what about copper FCX? That's another thing, but I wasn't looking at copper FCX today. Greg, I wasn't. Remember, we track over 9,000 stocks. I don't have the opportunity to go look at all 9,000 of them in one session of Trending Thursday. So I can only bring out the ones that make the news that I can talk about. All right, but you guys bring up great stocks that are also good stocks, but I can't talk about all of them, my friend. I can't talk about all of them, my friend. All right, so 3-month graph, definitely moving up on good volume. There's a lot of conviction behind the moves. New 3-month high today on Occidental Petroleum. It's not that expensive, $58. If I'm looking at it now, I'd wait to buy it just above that 3-month high. Halliburton. I think that as I pull up all of these stocks, you're going to see a lot of these. And it was brought up that these stocks have been beaten up for the longest time. When oil was low, all right, when oil was low prior to this administration, these stocks got destroyed. Do you remember when the futures contracts on oil went down to 0? Type of 1 if you remember that. type of one if you remember that. That was the futures contracts on the oil stocks went down to 0. You type of one if you remember that. All right, so no, I'm not, Adam. Adam, remember, I don't show everything that I need to show here. I got to show what's going to get me involved or, through about an hour and a half worth of time. We can do all the petroleum stocks. We can stay for hours, Glenn. I know you could, John, but I can't do it. That's when I bought all my energy stocks. You remember when and again, so I see the ones coming in, or these oil stocks were getting decimated. So prior to the war, when the XL pipeline got the kibosh, these started picking up prior to the war. But now look at them. These all went from paupers to princes. All right, these all went from frogs to princes. Like Joey. Joey went from a frog to a prince, right, Joey? Are you ignoring me right now, Joey? Are you hating? I think you're hating on me. That's all right. Why you take me off the... He took me off the screen. I guess that's what that's his way of responding. All right, Husa. Now, this came out of nowhere. This stock was just like puddling along, and then with all of this information and all the it shot up, pulled back. That was a lot of profit taking right there. And right now, still moving back up. Even with that big pullback or that big profit taking, I'm looking at the 3 and the 8 still looks solid. Volume is leveling off. I think the interest was here when it shot up, gapped up and shot up. The interest is not there as much, but it is still above the average volume. And the stock is currently a buy recommendation right now. Indo, the same thing. Husa and Indo were good trading perspectives. They went up nicely, pulled back. The 3 and the 8s are still solid on this Indo right now, though. The RT is below 1. I bet you if I look at both the fundamentals on both Indo and on Husa, yeah, neither one of those stocks are fundamentally sound. These were news driven by the industry. There's no safety. There's no nothing at these. These were strictly products of what was going on with oil. Pretty much. So you're using the 3 and the 8 for what? For swing trades? Adam, I will use the 3 and the 8s, whether it's for a swing trade or for a day trade. That's how solid I think the 3-8 is. I can take the same 3-8 and put it on an intraday graph and make the same decisions. So I use it for both. I do use it for both. Now, if I'm a longer term investor with stocks like an Apple or something like that, then I use different moving averages. I'll most likely use a 50 and 200 or 20 and 50, depending on just how long I want to be. But Apple, I'm all about the 50 into 200. Why? Because I'm not getting rid of Apple. I'm just not getting rid of Apple. I will hedge it rather than get rid of it. All right, so both of those stocks, Husa and Indo, were more trade perspectives. Were definitely more trade perspectives than not. All right, and did they do their job and make some money for some people? Absolutely. Am I going to tell you to buy those long term right now? The answer to that is absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, now the only thing I do like about it from that perspective is that the industry or the sector is still moving. Do those stocks still have some upside? Possibly, but nothing. Those are trading ideas. Those are strictly trading, short-term trading ideas. All right, some stocks on my stocks of interest. Gamestop, the PS5 restock will be in store this Friday. How many of you are looking to buy a gaming system? Joey, do you have a PS5 yet? I still have a PS4. My son gave me the PS4 because he got a PS5. But Joey, do you have a PS5? You got this. Oh, what are you? You on Xbox? Xbox, yeah. Ew. That makes me cringe. You got Xbox. Ew. All right, but this has been a big thing. PS5 is the first system that I've seen been out of stock on as much as it has. All right, so like I said, my son has a PS5. He gave his dad the PS4. And I'm fine with the PS4. And Joey plays on Xbox, which means that tells me a lot of things about Joey. All right, never. I'm 45 and you have wow, Adam says you got a PS1. Good, great. And John says, I still use my Commodore 64. Wow. Wow. That's all I can say about that is wow. All right, so I'm going to take a look at GameStop, not for the reasons what most people would think I want to look at GameStop for, but I will say that I think that the Department of Justice has started to look into the shorts on the meme stocks like GameStop and AMC. We'll see where that goes, because it looks like Gary Gensler was trying to go, I think the Department of Justice is picking up on it. We'll see. All right, this is the big one. Amazon reveals a 20-for-1 stock split and a $10 billion share buyback. That's huge. So you know what that does for people who are trading Amazon? It makes it less expensive for people to go and buy. That's all of what it's all about, to bring more investors into the stock. You know, you look at a lot of stocks that are out there that are great stocks. You look at Google, man, that's a lot of money for Google. But you look at those kinds of stocks, you say, I can never get into those stocks. Well, this is a 20-for-1 stock split. It's going to give you an opportunity, more investors an opportunity to buy in at a lot lower price. And remember, just like I talked about the buybacks on oil stocks, we're going to start seeing some other companies doing a lot of buybacks as well. This is going to be a quarter of buybacks between this quarter and next quarter, because interest rates haven't affected the bottom line of stocks or companies yet. But once it does, you're going to see a solid quarter of company buybacks. They can only do it, once about a year. They ain't got too much money to do that more than once. We're going to see a quarter of a lot of buybacks. And then after that, you're going to start seeing companies miss earnings. All right. That's how that's going to work. And the Great Recession that could come out of that, whatever, that's going to be the start of it, when you start to see a lot of companies do the buybacks. All right. So I'm putting that out there. Another company, Zim. Now, this was huge because this is a shipping company that grew their dividends. Was it Norma? Who was here that talked to me about, the amount of dividend on this stock? It was a lot. It was a lot. All right, but they had stellar Q4 beat and dividends. Let me see. See if it tells me at the quarter. Dividends, outperformance. Where's the dividends? There it is. Payout of 50%. Concurrent with the earnings announcement, the company announced an annual dividend of $17 freaking dollars. That's huge. In the VectorVest software, we've got them paying a dividend of $10. Reflecting 50% of the net income. That's a way to reward your investors. And 50% of the net income, they're giving it back to investors. Do you not think that that's going to be a lot of people jumping on board going, oh, yeah, baby, I want some of that, and going to buy the stock and say, get in my belly? That's what that's going to be all about. So that's a big move for Zim. And I'm feeling that. And that's a shipping company. Johnson Controls. I used to work for them. That was my only time I worked for corporate America, was for Johnson Controls. And then I got the pink slip when they were doing reorganization. I thought reorganization was great. It was great until I got fired. So that was the first and only time I worked for corporate America. But quarterly dividend by 2.9%. Shares gained for it. Another dividend play. I love when a company can grow its dividends. I love that. And that's going to bring more investors in. Palantir, this is a stock that I personally like. Palantir Technologies, high growth justifies high valuation. I keep saying that Palantir is unique in what they do in gathering data to make it useful information to fit whatever you want it to do as a company. And I think that at some point in time, it's going to come to fruition with all of the technology. I don't know if people are not willing to accept the technology, or they just keep putting money back into the company because they got the contracts. I'm wondering if they're putting more money back into the 3 platforms that they have to do what they do. But Palantir, I keep saying, keep your eyes on that stock. And then last but not least, I got one more thing. Biden's cryptocurrency executive order paves the way for regulation. crypto started to move. Crypto is starting to move, so I'm just putting that out there from that. And one of the things that crypto didn't want was regulation. But now, if the government can get their hands on it and get some money, it could push crypto further along from where it is right now. But I don't think the crypto world really wanted it to work that way. But it may be the only way for it to work for them to get to where they are. Palantir was one of my top short picks thanks to VectorVest. There you go. What's with all the advertising here from people, Glenn, for YouTube, this VV Nation, guys? What do you mean? Those are people who are VV Nation who want to talk about VV Nation. I'm not sure what you're asking. All right? I'm not sure what you're asking, Adam. All right, so those are my picks, my stocks of interest. Let's go to this VectorVest software, and let's go find them. Zim, look at where that sits. Zim is at the top, towards the top of the list. I've got GME. I know where that is. Look at that. You know, as many people feel is what they feel about what went short with them and blah, 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 blah. The issue is that it ain't good. All right. And they could be looking to do this, that, and the other thing. Let it all come to you. Let the trade come to you. Amazon is in this list. Where's that at? Right here. Actually, it's towards the bottom of the list. Interesting, right? Amazon is in this list. Johnson Controls towards the bottom of the list. Palantir towards the bottom of the list. Interesting how I have all of the stocks that I want you to keep your eyes on, with the exception of Zim, towards the bottom of the list. But you never know. The whole idea is you want to buy low and sell high. Some of these stocks that I look at are at the low spectrum of where they are, like Palantir. I still think that Palantir has got a good way to go, and it's got some good upside. All right, so the Zim play was because of dividends, and actually there it is. We got on the list here that it's a dividend of $10. That's what we've got, but that was a special dividend paid out, and the stock is, this is today. Let's put this on a 3-month graph. Even prior to that, the stock has gone from the bottom left to the top right. For the sake of transparency, I am in this space. I've got DSX, which is Diana Shipping. I do own that stock. For year-end 2021, IRS is asking whether or not you own cryptocurrencies. Is it really? I got to look at that. All right. I do own some cryptos. I got about $1,500 worth of cryptos sitting in a box doing nothing. I'm hoping that one day I wake up and I'm a quadrillionaire. And when I am, I'm leaving. I'm not worrying about none of you folk. I'm leaving. I'm being honest. And then I'm taking Joey with me. I'm taking Joey and his family with me. You hear me, Joey?
Yeah.
I'm taking you and your family with me. All right, so we'll see what happens. All right. So Zim, I still like a little bit of indecision for the last couple of days, even after the big news about the dividend. I still like that the 3 and 8 are solid and the volume is good. Now, GME, again, no matter what the retail investor feels or wants, the stock is just not doing what you want it to do. It's not. It's plain and simple. Are they making strides to be better as a company? Yes. Is that equating to the stock's price going up yet? No. All right. John says, Glenn, you're not leaving. VectorVest is your own personal country club. Roy said, look at that. Roy says, I'll take Lisa over Joey. Wow, Joey. I guess Joey would agree with that. I guess Joey would agree with that. All right. So, but the PS5 could be a good push for them higher, just not where everybody wants it to be. All right. Next one, Amazon with the split. They didn't split yet, but that's coming. It's like $3,000 stock. It's going to give people a lot more people the ability to buy the stock. Now, if I look at it, maybe was that needed? Answer that. Do you think that was needed to push the company back the way that it needed to be? Answer yes or no. Type a yes or no in the room. Do you think that they needed to do that because they were falling? Let's put this on a 6-month graph. Let's put this on a 1-year graph. Wow. So maybe they came to the understanding that it was time to do something to drive the stock's price higher. Type a yes or no in the room, folks. That's a 1 year graph. That's a one. So maybe they sat around in the think tank and said, yo, and they had to say it just like that. Yo, we got to do a little something different right now. And that could have been it. That I'm just thinking out loud. What do you think? All right. But I definitely think it's definitely going to drive new investors. It's definitely going to drive newer investors to the stock. All right. I see a couple of people typing in. All right. Johnson Controls, even with and I'm thinking again, they needed to do something as well. And they said, yeah, we're going to raise our dividend. Woo! It's going to take a little bit of time for that to turn that around. But, you got to get creative at times when you know that you're a good run company. Our relative value is at 1.21, should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 21% over the next 1 to 3 years. Relative safety is above 1. The company usually meets or exceeds its earnings expectations. Positive earnings, grows their earnings at a clip of 18%. At some point in time, you got to do a little bit of something to start to move these stocks higher. And there it is. That's another reason why they're doing that as well. John says, I heard they want Amazon on the Dow 30. I've heard that as well. Too. Gives their employees more control over their 401k. All right. Yeah, I did see that they wanted to get onto the Dow. I recall when stocks split when they got close to $100 a share, it was done to create liquidity. You do realize, Roger, that Amazon's at like $3,000 a share. When is the split happening with Amazon? Sandy, I don't know. Can anybody tell me when it's going to happen? Because I don't know. Palantir, stock that I do like. I still think that Palantir is putting a lot of their money back into the company. They're getting the contracts, and I think that they keep putting money. They got 3 platforms to do whatever it is that you need them to do, and I think that they're putting their money back into the and they're still making money. There's, earnings per share of 18 cents on $11.77, and they're still growing their earnings at a clip of 37%. They're doing well from that perspective. I think that with all of the contracts and the money that they're getting, they're putting it back into the company. Energy said it's going to be done in June. Thank you, Energy. I appreciate that. So he put that up there. It's going to be done in June. Thank you. All right. And that's all my stocks. I'm done. Can I do that? I'm done. I am. But I got to be here. Sigh. Can I do that? No, maybe not. What do I need to do? I can't do that either. What do I need, Joey? I was in the software. Did you take it? You take my mouse. Go ahead. Homepage. Trying to get to the homepage. All right, homepage. There we go. All right. So, oil's playing a big role in what's going on in the market. We looked at some oil stocks. Mining is going to be a product of shortages of stuff. So, mining companies are stepping up. And again, it's not just all silver and gold. It is all kinds of ore, nickel and aluminum. Yes, I know it's aluminum, but aluminum, iron ores, just all of that stuff. These are the times that we're in. My still opinion as I look at this homepage right now is that we still got downside. I don't think that we've topped out yet, but I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy talking to you on YouTube, based upon just what I know. And again, I'm not an economist, folks. I just am not. But hopefully I'm at least a little bit of entertaining, and I give you some good information based upon what you need to know. How many likes did we get? 82. Let's see if we can get 100 likes before we leave. All right, number 1. Number 2, if you're brand new to the channel and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button. All right. Hit the bell icon so that you'll be alerted when new content like this comes out. And that's it. Hopefully your time wasn't wasted here. And that's a good thing. Hopefully your time wasn't wasted here. Palantir may be starting a guppy squeeze. I'll have to take a look at that. My opinion, 16 times S&P 3,700, my opinion. 16 times. Okay. Your translation software is misspelling a lot of your words. You know why, Sandy? Because I don't talk proper English. That's why. If anybody tries to copy what I say, man, they're going to be in a world of hurt. They're going to be in a world of hurt. John says, I'm just a guy on YouTube who likes Cafe Bustelo and give Joey a hard time. Yeah, I do. I do that. Shout out to Biggie. Yeah, he, was it 25 years? 25 years? I know, Sonny, I'm so glad we had this time together just to laugh or just to sing a little song. Carol Burnett. All right, folks, I got to go. I like that Sandy says time is never wasted here. Again, that's important to me, especially if you're new to the channel, because I want you to subscribe to the channel. Every week we go through, whether it's Trending Thursday or Midday Market, we try to bring a lot of the good stuff that you need to know. All right. So until the next time, folks, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until next time, folks, see ya.